Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by the garden today. I just want to go over my sunflowers because a lot of them have opened, the bees are out, and they love them. So if you're growing produce in your garden, whether you're growing produce or not, these really attract a lot of bees to the garden. So it helps to pollinate your flowers, your produce, if you are growing any produce, berries, and these two have opened. So they have opened a couple of days ago, and I want to show you the different stages because we're going to cut something here. Now when they first start opening, they look like that little guy in the back. You can see the flowers just starting to come out of there. And you want to feed with some bloom as soon as you start to see this start to bud, which looks like this big fella right here. He's growing on the side of my big sunflowers right in the back there, you can see. And this is just getting ready to bud, and then it'll open like that other little guy. You can see the yellow little flower starting to shoot out in the back. On the other one, this one has not done that yet, but it's going to start to. And these leaves are so big. They're bigger than my hand. So we're going to go up close because we're going to see some things and take a look at some things. I want to show you guys basically how to know when to cut your sunflowers and how do you know if they're done, you know, all the way opened. So you can cut them and enjoy them in a glass vase if you really want to. You can see how many bees they attract. So I really love to leave these as long as I can. Now that middle should be fully complete. You can see how the very middle of that is not complete yet. It's down. So all that brown stuff will push out and expand out of the flower. We'll go look at the other one so we can see a little bit better of a picture. These bees are going nuts, so I do not want to bother them. You are in their territory. Please remember that. Don't get scared around them. Don't freak out, and then it'll really help for them not to bother you. You know, if you freak out, I used to freak out when I seen bees, but you know what? They will not harm you. They're here to do one thing and one thing only, and I just touched one, see, and he just flew away. They're only here to pollinate the garden and do their job. You know, they don't care about us. If we invade their privacy and their space, well then you can get stung, just like I'm doing, but you got to be really careful. Now that middle is not all the way full yet. It's not all the way open. You can see we still have a lot of brown left to come. So that's almost done. You can see all that brown around it. That's what it's supposed to look like through the whole flower. We're going to go throughout the garden, look at some other sunflowers that have just opened, and show you one that's ready to cut as well. The big one that's growing above me, so it's like 6 feet big right now, is actually just opened yesterday. He opened 2 days ago, so we're going to go take a look. So this is my big guy. Check him out. He's getting so big, you guys. His foliage is just humongous. That stalk is so big, and it's being supported by itself. So the stalk's so big because we gave lots of nutrients of a grow, like a 795, when it was growing. And then once it, that was once every couple of weeks, and then some fresh compost we topped off with. Now look how big this stem is. It's growing in this little container here, which has overtaken this entire container. But I have green beans in there because green beans really don't have much of a root system on them, and I know they're going to do great. So let's go back up to the sunflower, up to the top. And I'm sorry it's so gloomy out today, you guys, but I'm trying to get this video done so you can see. Now this one just opened 2 days ago, or yesterday, whatever it was. It's only been a few days, so you can see if I go up close, that middle is not all the way open. We're missing a lot of it, and that brown needs to fill in, so it'll turn into this brown fuzzy stuff. And then that's when you know when it's all the way filled in to the center takes the last part to fill in, then you know you're ready to cut. And we're gonna go take a look at one that's ready to cut. Now before this, right after that fills in totally, you can then go ahead and cut your flower, which we're gonna go ahead and do and show you how to do right here at the bottom. Here's a little look from the side so you can see what we're gonna get to. We just looked at that big mammoth right there on the left, the big one. Then we're gonna go to this one right next to it. We already went to those guys down there, so we're going to get to that one because he opened first. So I just want to give you guys a little side view. We're going to plant all sunflowers on the side of that fence all the way along that back of the fence, and they're already starting to sprout. I'm so happy. So let's go take a look. Alright guys, so he's kind of spent out. He's not facing the sun anymore. Even though the bees are still attracted to it, he is totally done. So you can see that middle has totally pushed out. Let me get close. I'm sorry I'm shaking. I got a tripod from Paula at Just Living, so we're going to be utilizing that so we do not shake, and these videos are so much better for you guys. So this middle is totally filled in, and the edges of it are starting to get white. Can you guys see the edges of that? they're starting to get white, and at that point we want to cut. So let me get a hold of this camera and cut. There we go. I bent down a little bit sitting on the floor for you guys. So we're looking at her from down below, and we know she's all the way filled out and she's getting ready to die. So these flowers will bloom and then they'll die off, producing a lot of seeds in the center there, and that's what we want to collect. So once it starts turning white and you know it has filled in all the way just like this one has done, we can go ahead and then cut her off. So we can enjoy her in a vase for a couple days, and then we can go ahead and harvest all these seeds because they're going to get pollinated. Now I want to show you where to cut. This is the top of the flower. If you wanted to leave this little guy outside until it's done totally and it seeds totally, that's fine. I just don't want to bring too many birds in the garden because the birds love this. You can see that middle's totally filled in and we're already starting to get seeds on the edges. Now what'll happen is the back of this flower will start turning like yellow to brown. It'll bend over and we know that it's ready. So before it's all the way done, I want to cut. Now I'm going to go down just a couple of nodes to right here, and we're going to cut that flower off. Make a nice clean cut with some sharp sterilized garden shears so you don't put disease back in this. Now what should happen, if you cut this flower off soon enough, it should shoot out another flower stalk, another flower bud from one of these nodes. So we're going to see what happens to this. It's going to look a little bare for now, but we're going to see what happens, definitely. Then we're going to go down here to our flower that's kind of laying on the floor here. It's okay, just do it with two hands. Just give it a shake, get the dirt off, and we know we're good to go. You can see that middle now is totally filled in. Just drop her down so we're not shaking. And you can see the edges are starting to, dissipate. All that brown stuff is going to start to come off and then produce seed around the whole flower. So the seed's in here. The seed is in the flower head itself. All this white stuff you see underneath this brown, that's all going to be seeds. And we're going to show you start to finish on how to do this. So pick your sunflowers, put them in a little vase and enjoy them. You can cut them on a 90-degree angle, cut the bottom leaf off. This way it's not hanging in the water. You can go ahead and make a clean cut on a 90-degree angle. Just try not to shred it like that. Let's get a nice clean one here. I guess these aren't too sharp, eh? We've got to sharpen our scissors. But that's okay, that's good. And then what'll happen is you can enjoy her for a few days until all of that brown falls off. Once that brown falls off, you know you're good to go to take it out, hang it upside down or lay it on a table like this, right side up, and then you can dry the seeds. We'll come back and show you guys how we do that. I did a video on doing this already, but we'll show you again. We'll do a little part 2 series of growing sunflowers. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. Look at the bee. He's trying to get to it. We're going to take it away from him. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. We have other sunflowers growing here, which we're going to take a look at. We have one little guy right here growing in the back of our peppers. We have another one right there growing in between our zinnias and our peppers. So we're going to line the whole back with morning glories, which are starting to pop out, and sunflowers. We're going to interplant some velvet sunflowers, some orange velvet sunflowers in the back with all our plants right here. We have lovely zinnias blooming, and flowers are so important for the garden, especially when you're growing produce, you guys. Look at how big these zinnias are getting since they went out in the garden. This pollen is killing me, but that's what you get being out in the garden. And I love it. I don't care if I have allergies. I will take allergy medicine. I just love being out here. The birds are chirping, as you can hear them. Sunflowers are blooming. The garden looks great. We got sunflowers sprouting all back here already with the morning glory in the middle. So we're looking really good, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video very much, like I'm enjoying my sunflowers. I love to share this stuff with you guys because it's just, there's so much beauty in Mother Nature and we need to take advantage of it right at the tips of our fingers. See you guys next time out in the garden. Let me know if you need any help on these at all. I'd love to help you in any way possible. It's why I'm here. It's what I love to do. Bye-bye.